I think I have it. This took me way too long to do. Oh, please be right.
I got it.
Oh, thank God. That took way too long.
I'm impressed.
That took way too long. Holy heck, if that's what I have to expect from puzzles, I'm gonna need to be thinking a lot more than I thought.
Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box. There's a book in here.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tangle Tower, since I never said it. Oh god. Secret diary, a well-used book resembling a diary. It is locked with a strange metal device.
We already solved it.
Oh, damn it, darn it. Keep getting escape. Knocks me out of full screen.
Homemade posters. This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
I've not heard of that man. Are they any good? A pretty ornate window, with a great view of the lake.
We're supposed to be looking for clues, not assessing the real estate value.
And over here, you'll see the owners use sheets of paper to block out all that unnecessary natural light. A simple trick, but it really transforms the space.
Oh my goodness.
That's a whole lot of books. That's a whole lot of stuff Fifi's thrown away.
You gonna rummage through the trash can?
No, that is quite beneath me, thank you.
I give it 5 minutes before you're in there.
Stuff
You gonna run? I give it 5 minutes before you're.
Stuff Fifi.
You gonna? I give it 5 minutes.
Scientific formulas, probably. I'll openly admit I have no idea what any of it means.
Boxes of stuff.
Alright, I think that's everything we have for here right now. We could go talk to Fifi about what we have in here.
Locked.
We also could go to the other side, but I also kind of want to see what's outside. Now, let's go talk to Fifi quick. I want to double check with her. Nope, to the secret dock.
A book. My book.
And what's in it?
Pages.
Fair enough. I was about to say, fair enough. She kind of reminds me of Eddie a little bit in regards to how she responds to questions. Gives a technically true answer, but kind of snarky.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Aw.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor. Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's gotta practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
Broken glass. Horn statue. A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. There's a noticeable crack running along the length of the statue's horn. Inside the horn and on the ground below are various shards of cracked glass.
1 old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
That's a fire hazard.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
No, you're not. Don't worry.
Smells like a forest in here.
That's just daylight, right?
What else would it be? It's a globe.
For globing.
Excuse me?
Alright, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion. It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
Might grow teeth and try to crunch on you.
Are you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, You're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... Things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
I don't blame you. Also, from what we learned from Fifi, since she inherits the majority of the mansion and Tangle Tower, she can't really... It's hard for her to decide to leave.
3.5 hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5.
Jeez.
Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way, so I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that. Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The 3 of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test.
Okay.
She took me down to
So
the
far,
library.
this is
We were
pretty
in there
much
about
what we were told
15
already.
minutes. After she
from
was done,
Fifi's side.
she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Can I... Part of me wants to...
Alright. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
No, did we... Can we, like... Oh, it just says she said straight up to there. I was kind of hoping it would straight up tell me, like, oh, yeah. Doesn't actually say. That's annoying. I was kind of hoping it would. See, not much really in here. Like, no puzzles or anything.
There's a faded mural on the wall.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
I actually don't know myself. I might have to look that up.
There's a faded mural on the
When I
wall.
was
You still don't know.
No.
There's a faded...
When I was
You still don't.
no.
Yeah, I'm curious what's even out here. I'm sure there's more puzzles this way. Hello. Who are you?
A wooden trunk that opens up into a full desk.
I want one.
I want one too.
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
What?
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Rotate the dials to all 4 hands in the correct position. What? So here's the thing, I don't know what the correct position is.
No.
So moving any of the hands turns the adjacent hands in the opposite direction. It's like cogs on a machine.
I guess.
Did you work out what direction each hand needs? Each one ends with a little hoop. Try looking through the hoop and ignoring the rest.
What? Try looking through the hoop and ignoring the rest. Trying to see if there's like a number. Like this says 12, that could say 6 or 9. This one... I don't know what this one is. I don't actually know.
Nothing.
It's just numbers on a clock. 3 on the right, 6 on the bottom, 9 on the left. You only need 90-degree angles. That should make it easier to...
So obviously this would be 6 or 9. This is 12. I don't know what this is. The 2 in the middle have numbers I can see. I don't really see the numbers on the... Wait. This is 12.
Nothing.
Damn.
It's just numbers on a 3 on the right. You only need 90-degree angles.
Nothing.
It's just 3 on the right. You only need 90-degree angles.
I thought maybe... This is a 12, because it looks like a 12 right now. I thought this would go up. I thought that since this looks like either a 6 or a 9, that would mean that it would either be on 6 or 9.
Nothing.
It's just 3 on the right. You only need 90-degree angles.
Nothing.
It's just you only need 90 degrees.
I have no idea.
Reset the puzzle. Just gonna rest my brain.
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off. It's a sea serpent, turned into stone by a wizard.
Ah, if you say so. What happened to its head?
Beheaded by the same wizard.
Hmm.
How long is that thing? More of that weird lake water.
Really makes me wonder how this structure is supported. Yeah, are we on an island or what?
Beats me.
A giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
AKA a greenhouse.
It's Tangle Tower, or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower.
A little bridge leading back to the gardens. Looks like it might be about to fall apart. Grimoire, you go first.
Who are you?
Whoa, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick, Grimoire.
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Ooh, competition.
Nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do. It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5
I was about to
days.
say.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so?
Aw. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh well.
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite.
Whoa. Okay, what's your
Towards the early
statement?
evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled, that much was clear, but sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say. Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
Yeah, that seems to line up with what everyone else seems to be telling us.
Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious. considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition, no focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely.
Yeah, but still a teenager.
314 cases solved.
Dang.
300?
And 14.
His heart, or like, it sounded like his heart broke or something.
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, Detective.
Oof. You could still help.
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite.
It's very much everyone just has their own potential, but nobody can leave Tangle Tower for some ominous reason.
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that.
You think these
I was
people are
disappointed,
ordinary? You think these people are ordinary? Oh boy, maybe you're not as good as a detective as I thought.
You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint. Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps?
That's fairly accurate.
Have you
thought.
deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then. Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No. Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Oh god, no.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking. The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
She's got a point.
A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
Oh, we never asked, shoot, I gotta go back to, blah, 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 what's her name? 'Cause we never actually asked her about her music.
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty.
So we know she's looking for something that possibly Flora had. You know?
Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
I'd tell him not to quit his day job, but he hasn't got one, has he? I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
That is true.
A photograph of Freya. Could be important.
Yeah, but the problem is why is it's still ripped?
A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that. A diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating.
Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially bipedal. Although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
I don't know why, when Grimmark gets so, proud of himself, it's kind of funny.
A pointless little stone tower.
I don't know. Might be a good hiding place.
Want to play hide and seek?
I could be persuaded.
Oh, you two, come on.
You ever see a mushroom that big before?
Not in real life.
These plants are giving off a relaxing smell.
I didn't know we were supposed to be smelling things.
Well, I could go there, but I actually want to head back and ask her. I don't know if did I miss asking her about items? I did. I completely ignored it.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Oh, you're actually going to
Forgone
do this.
drifter, holding fast, days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender, accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom some four walls make round a room?
Oh my god, you're actually doing this
Between
for
the
everyone.
lips, a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
I'm so bad with poetry! Oh.
With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
What?
Hard of head, but free of mind, unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond, behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be. That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kinda cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
So there are two families living in Tangle Tower?
Mm-hmm. 3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora's a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the fellows and the pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea. There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too
Clean?
peaceful.
Interesting. I'm actually a little short on time, so I'm actually going to cut it here. Next time I'm going to continue questioning her. The two I'm very interested in is the ripped photo and then talking about her tapes. Until then, everybody, see you next time.